Hello, everyone. This is Holly from Loop, Learn English with a Worldwide Perspective, lewwwp.com. Starting our Hangout, hoping a few members will join me. And today's Hangout's starting topic is The Little Prince, in keeping with our June theme of books and our Little Prince book group on Loop. So I'm hoping that a few Loop members will join me to practice their English and talk about Chapter 4, particularly of the Little Prince. And waiting. We had a nice talk last week regarding modesty and other topics that came up with Chapter 3. In Chapter 4, the discussion questions include, do you care what other people look like? Is it important for you what clothes they wear? So whether or not you have read The Little Prince, I hope you will join us for discussion. And I see Connery is joining us. Karine, hello.
Hello, Holly, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm glad to see you joining a class.
It was my pleasure.
So I do not know if you have joined our Little Prince group or not. The book group. On our website, do you know our book group, The Little Prince? Do you know the story?
No, I don't know it.
Okay, so we have a class has been scheduled, and we've been talking this month about the story, The Little Prince. And if you're not familiar with it, you still can join the conversation. If I'll give you the link here for the book group if you want to take a look. But in the story, there is a discussion about how important it is what people wear. And so one of the discussion questions is, does it matter what people are wearing? Do clothes make a difference?
I think mentality better than to think what other people opinion better than what other people wear.
So for you, opinions or what's inside matters more than what's outside?
Yes, inside better than outside.
So if I were to come to class and were wearing green hair and purple makeup, that would be okay?
It's better. It's nice to look good or look handsome. It's better. It's not important. There are a lot of things important than clothes and appear or what other people appear. This is my opinion.
Okay. Is it easier to talk to people if they look better or okay? And who gets to determine? Who says what's okay?
What exactly do you need? What's normal? Okay. Yes, I think if I see the man or woman wear nice clothes or nice nice shoes, I think it's okay, it's normal. But if I see someone wear bad shoes, maybe I be cautious. I,
Yes, I think that's true for most of us. So what we think is it shouldn't matter, but sometimes it does matter. In some way, it influences how we talk to people, if we talk to people. Um, Sometimes people try experiments where they dress like a beggar,
uh,
and someone who begs, please give me money, please give me money. Some people dress like a beggar,
yes, yes, yes.
and people who normally would talk to them walk right by, don't stop and talk to them. But if they dress in a nice business suit or something that is considered okay, then people will talk to them, will answer a question, will
Yes,
help.
yes, yes, of course. I totally agree with you. If I see a man or woman ask me for direction or for about restaurant, something like that, I can help. I like to help them, but if I see bigger, I feel a little bit cautious. If I can help them, I do. But if I can't, I leave away. I go away. Sorry, I go away.
Yes, I think most people, that's a normal reaction.
Yes,
Whether it's fair or not, I think it is a normal reaction. So another question that Joanna asks is um, is this: do you agree that during live classes like this one, if we're on web camera, should we wear special clothes in order to help people listen to us?
special clause to con,
So,
convince
yeah,
people to
so like right now, I'm wearing a fairly casual shirt. I'm not dressed up. Is that wrong? Should I be wearing more professional clothing?
you
Is
know
this
most of them um, prefer casual clothes more than classic clothes. This is my opinion.
and casual clothes in many societies are more accepted today.
It's comfortable.
Mm.
It's comfortable.
uh,
Suitable.
right. So there are differences sometimes in cultural differences. Because we have classes with people all around the world,
Oh,
sometimes there are strong weather differences. So someone might be dressed uh, differently. But it's challenging sometimes to know whether you are being listened to or not listened to
oh.
because of what you're wearing.
Yeah, it depending on the event or situation. If you see people on job don't like formal clothes, I think it's not be a good. They not be a good if they're not wear formal clothes. And if you go to club or if you go to cinema, um, it's normal to wear casual clothes.
Okay, so where you're going and whom you're with. So just as I'm often saying for language, the same applies to clothes, the audience, so who is looking at you, and the purpose of what you are doing can make a difference. In your classrooms, um, children's classroom teachers and professors at university, do you have dress codes?
Yes, of course. Professor should wear suit and formal suit and pants and tie, and he should be formal and good for student. But I think students should wear casual, but not short and cut. and they should wear suitable casual clothes.
And is that followed by most universities and most schools to the best of your knowledge? Do most people follow this custom?
Sorry again. So
Do most people follow this? Do most children dress appropriately? Do most professors dress appropriately?
in my country, yes.
Okay. So very different in the United States.
Yeah, of course.
And many people disagree.
But I listened before the news, the American university. I didn't remember the name of this university. Prevent the girl who wear low low waist skirt, small skirt.
Right, right. So there used to be rules when I was in school. The skirts had to be so many inches from your knee. You could not be too short. Most places this is no longer true. Sorry.
Don't worry. Take your time.
Sorry.
Take your time.
Okay, there, I think I'm better now. Sorry. Many teachers dress in ways that I consider inappropriate. Many professors dress very casually, and it can make a difference. And many business professionals dress in ways that many people consider unprofessional. So that the norms have changed in many places in the United States. And some people agree and some people disagree.
But on the other hand, لا يا باشا مش شوي كده. Sorry, sorry, but on the other hand, I think other people deal with other. For instance, okay, for instance, when I deal with the teacher, it's important for me his or her way for teaching, not her clothes or his clothes. I need what's the important? Clothes or way in teaching. When teaching, it's important for me more than his or her clothes.
Mm. For some people, it really feels like a question of respect.
Respect, yes, yes, respect. It's important. It's important. It's more important than clothes. Um, how do you deal with good behavior, with bad behavior? Not what are what are you wearing? What do you wear? It's important for me. Um, what do you give me? What, if you don't, what's your way? What's your behavior? If you deal with me with good behavior, it's important. Then what do you wear? Are you,
Yeah.
am I correct? Or,
I think for most people, this is what we think is true. But I think, again, in reality, if I'm in a classroom where a teacher is wearing really, really bright clothes and has crazy hat on, it's
yes,
harder to pay attention. So I
yes,
think there is some respect, some common sense. um, I
okay,
think this is where uniforms, the reason for uniforms
mm,
comes in. Sometimes the wearing of uniforms can make it easier to pay attention to the lesson.
of course, of course, of course. I totally agree with you. The teacher, the most should, should wear suitable clothes. Not, not about if I wear a teacher, if I wear or if I wear a teacher, I should wear a t-shirt or shirt and pants, not wear short and cut and color shoes. It's not good for me. Or for a woman, if it's not allowed to wear a small skirt or small tight body or the teacher, not a model, not to be
Yeah,
like a model, no, no,
right?
no, not to be like a model. She should be like a teacher.
Hmm. Ah, so, of course, in the US, we like to push the envelope. I don't know if you know that expression, but to push the envelope is to, we like to break the rules. We like to try new things, to be independent. And so people like to question. And so, why can't I wear bright colored clothes? Why can't I wear tight fitting clothes? Why do I have to wear a suit? These are challenges that many people push, they try to question. And there are arguments on both sides, and things do usually go smoother and easier if people follow the rules. But sometimes good things happen when you ask questions. So it's challenging. It's very challenging.
I want to ask you about push, push the envelope.
Push the envelope is an idiom meaning to test the rules.
Mm, test the rules. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Mm. So if you imagine that the rule for mailing a letter is you can only put so many. So if you have an envelope, you can put a piece of paper in the envelope, But if you put too many papers into the envelope, if you push and push and push, then you won't be able to close it, and you need more stamps. So if you push, 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 and try to get more for your money, try to get
I got
more or do differently. So it's an expression that refers to testing, pushing the rules. And I don't know if you turned your mic off because of noise in the background, but your mic is off, so you need to turn your mic back on when you want to speak. Okay. Hopefully some others will join us. We had several loopers who said they were going to join us today.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, we have 7 other people who are supposed to be here in class, so I don't know where everyone is today.
They all absent?
Yeah, they appear to be absent. Sometimes some people have trouble with Google Hangouts. For other people, they work well.
It's good for me
Yes, it's a nice chance
to talk a lot and speak with you a lot.
Yes, and happy to see you trying harder on loop. It's too
That's,
bad. Yeah.
what about your opinion about new interact with me and with others? Sorry, new blogs I wrote and interact with others. What about your opinion?
I have to read it again. I don't remember exactly.
About practice.
Lots of things happen on loop, so I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly. I love seeing that you are participating more.
I appreciate your effort to help others. I appreciate that a lot. Many thanks for you.
Yes, well, I thank you. Loop works well when people participate, and you keep trying again, and hopefully wearing your crown this week and pushing yourself to answer others, hopefully that will keep you motivated. So I saw Diana's questions, and you have a young son?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I answer it. I play with him alphabet puzzle, and I try to help him to connect letter with word like G, girl, and garden.
And in English or in your native languages?
In English. He
Nice.
he's joining at language school, not art school.
Um,
I want him to speak English fluently uh, uh, when he's still young.
yes, it's an excellent time to learn. When you're younger, you usually are not afraid to try and test, and making mistakes is something that happens every day anyway. It's harder as you get older, and
Sometimes I learn it from him a lot.
yeah, and it's more fun when you can learn learn that way. Yeah.
So I try to practice more and more to help him and to appear in front of him. I'm a good father. I can speak English and I can help him.
Nice, very nice. And that's so important no matter what language you're talking in, but talking with your children, reading and learning with your children is what so many children don't have, and it makes all the difference. So that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I think practice is way to success.
Yeah, it does take practice. I know that's my challenge with I'm not practicing my Polish or French or Korean enough. And you forget and get things mixed up and make the same mistakes over and over if you don't practice. Yeah.
I can tell you what I what did did I what I did to improve my
Nice.
uh, by only wait listen every day the same lesson. I told you before. I think I
The
listened
same lesson every day.
for 10 days or 2 weeks, and,
Yeah.
twice or more than twice every day. The same lesson, 30 minutes, 30 minutes every day. The same lesson. I have one lesson for 30 minutes. I listen 30 minutes every 3 hours. Listen 30 minutes. Uh, I can't understand, I can't translate, but just listen and relax. After 3 months, I can know a lot of vocabulary. I can know lots of idioms and statements to speak, to talk, effortless,
Nice. Yeah.
without thinking, without translate from my language to English. So if you
So
want,
just listening and not writing or reading.
yes, yes, you know this is called, if you engage your subconscious, you will be a master in English or in Polish or in French.
But then when you try to read and write, it gets all mixed up. And this is my challenge because I teach and I believe that all four, reading, writing, listening, speaking, are important. It's very difficult for me to just listen and speak. I want to read and write. When I listen, I want to see the words. And that makes it slower. But you're absolutely, I think, very correct in that when you repeat, and I think in all of our classrooms, this is what does not happen enough because we have timelines and a test that we need to take, and we repeat a little bit and then it's a new chapter and a new chapter and a new chapter, and we don't review and repeat enough.
But
And I think what you've done is very helpful to make it easier to learn the next step. Yeah.
you know, if I repeat for 2 weeks one lesson, I guarantee for you this lesson don't forget more than 2 years ago. I remember
Uh,
lots of statement from first lesson. I listened it from 1 year. Like this statement, if you engage your subconscious, will be a master in English.
and you remember that. Yes, it's like many people, if they've ever been in a play, if they've ever been involved in a drama performance, even from their childhood, many people can still remember the lines, can still remember what they said because they repeated, and you put it in there, it stays in your...
I also did that for episodes called Prison Break for Winsor Miller. I remember the first episode when the police told him, put down your weapon. You're completely
So you remember those lines. The challenge is when you're an adult, there's so much more to life, right? You can't limit yourself to one episode. Life gives us so many different things to talk about and
yes.
communicate about. Yeah.
Also, it's useful for pronunciation. if you want to pronounce with correct pronunciation, you should listen more and more.
Yes, definitely a connection there. Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn French, you should listen more and more French to pronounce by correct way.
That definitely makes a huge difference. I know I did not do enough of that with Korean, and with French and with Polish, that definitely makes a difference for me. In Korean, listening certainly helps, but Korean, the Hangul, the characters and the language, if I'm slow, but if I follow the pattern of the letters, I can speak fairly well. English, it doesn't work that way because there are so many exceptions to how you pronounce the same vowel, and
Yeah,
every vowel has so many different sounds.
yes, of course. I think English is difficult. It's a difficult language,
I
but
think I think every language has its challenges. Uh,
I feel happy when I speak English. I feel, I feel happy, and
nice.
yes, I feel nice when I speak English. You know, it's me to speak another language also. It helps me at work, on the work, to find a great job.
Mm.
Also to connect with other. I feel more comfort or more free when I speak with other people.
Eh, And I remember many months ago you joined one of our live classes and did not speak much at all. You seem very confident today.
Yeah, very.
Yes, yeah. It's nice to hear that. Yeah. You seem very willing to speak up and self-correct. So the practice is helping, and I'm glad that you're feeling
It's
some benefit.
working.
That's
It's
when
working now.
yeah, it's very nice when you begin to feel some success and benefit. I'm still at the stage where I get excited if I recognize a couple of words in Polish. um, I'm still very beginner there, and I enjoy the learning because I laugh a lot. I make so many mistakes, and I practice and practice and practice, and then I test myself by saying my sentence that I'm so proud of, and I'll speak it to a native Polish speaker, and they look at me and have no idea what I said.
I know this feeling. I know this feeling. But you
In
know,
French and Korean, I'm a little more confident, um, but it's fun. I love learning, and if you can embrace the learning and can laugh at yourself and laugh with others, it helps. And that's hard as an adult. It's difficult to.
learn, learn. It's very important. It's add value for us and fill us more confidence, and also it helps us to think differently with,
Definitely. Yeah.
with good behavior.
And this is nice, this goes back to the little prince idea. This is what his point is in this story. The little prince, he visits a planet, a tiny little planet, and he tours the planet. He walks around the planet and meets lots of different people and helps him to think differently. And I think it is true about any language. You
Yes.
start learning a different culture, uh, the more you're open to it. And I
Also,
love I love loop because we meet so many different
like
things that make me stop and think. Yeah.
you know, when I talk with you or with other people, foreign people, um, it helps me. I told you think differently and to respect other people. Respect other people.
I hope so. I hope so. Kareem, I hope the whole world can start learning to do that a little better.
Yeah, but I think if you study another language or deal with other people, it help you to respect other or know what other people opinion or think. So um, I love to learn new language like English.
Mm.
No, I thought to learn French, but I want to speak English fluently, fastly, and after that learn another language.
Uh, Many of the members on this site have done that. Many are coming back sometimes to practice their English, but are now learning a different language. And one of my role models, and I think we all help feed energy to each other's learning, but one of my role models is a story about an 83-year-old woman who was learning her 17th language. 17 at age 83. I want to be her. uh, I want to be able to say when I'm 83 years old that I can speak 17 languages. Beautiful.
Role models for you, right?
Right, yeah. But I'm not doing very well toward my goal yet. But I would love to be able to show the world that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still try, and you can always keep learning. Yeah.
You know, if you depend on ear, you will learn faster and faster. If
Yes, I think that's true.
you
Um,
follow this method, if you follow this method to listen, you can visual, you can read, or you can follow the word when you listen, but not only read. You know what I want to say? You should follow this method. You should listen and follow the word when you
yeah,
listen.
yeah. I
Follow the
have,
transcript.
mm,
Follow the transcript when you listen, but you should depend on ear,
yes,
not
yes, yeah. And it's so true for pronunciation. Once you hear it, then you're better able to speak it. If you can't hear a difference or hear a letter or sound, it's much harder to produce it correctly. Yeah, I have Pimsleur as a marketing name, a brand name, and I've studied French from Pimsleur. I studied French in school many years ago, but recently I've done just the listening um, with Pimsleur tapes and CDs, and it does help a lot to hear and speak a little more clearly. But it's still a challenge for me because I believe that to really know a language, you need to read, write, speak, and listen. And so I'm stubborn, and I'm slow. I'm a slower learner because of it. But it does work much better for confidence. Um, yeah. Very interesting, though. Some people can read and write a language well and can't speak it.
yes.
So,
But I need to comment about the last statement you wrote about I'm stubborn, so and want to read and write. I told you if you follow this method to listen and follow the transcript after 3 months or 6 months, when just listening, after that you can read fast and write fast.
Uh, all right, so now you're motivating me. Let's see if I can find
I
a way to make daily practice more common. Yeah.
believe
Uh,
the
yeah.
second.
And then everyone keeps asking where is the environment like loop in other languages. Like I would be helped by a site similar to loop in another language. Yeah.
As a second, okay?
Uh,
The children, the most children, how can them learn fast? By ear.
yes, that's true. Definitely true.
All of them learn by ear, not read,
Yes,
not write, just listen and talk. For 5 or 6 years, the first 5 and 6 years,
right,
just listen and speak. So if you want any language, you should deal like a children, or deal with it
right. Yeah.
like
Of
you should
course,
you
yeah.
should listen 1 and 2 years, 1 or 2 years, and after that you will write and read fast and fast.
Of
This
course, there is the complication that as adults we have a lot more happening in our minds are focused on many other responsibilities and commitments. And that is an additional challenge.
so you see, my my statement is correct. My idea is correct or not now? To listen first 2 years fast. You can read also and write at the first year and second year, but not like after 2 years.
I think that helps and does work for many people, but I also think each learner is different in some way or ways. And the same method will not work for every individual. There is no one size fits all in in language learning. I don't think. I think everyone has uh, some
So,
things a little different.
so you are very stubborn. You are very
So am I. uh, I definitely think that's a sensible approach for some. Ah, good, Fidato. Hello. Yay. We have another
yes,
person joining us here.
yes, yes, I see it.
Can you hear us,
No, I can't.
Fidato? I don't know if I'm mispronouncing your name. I forget. Can you speak? Is your mic, do you have a microphone? I hear static like you're trying to talk to us, but I'm not hearing you. Hmm. Yeah, I see that you're trying to speak, but I can't hear you. Hmm.
Hello?
Ah, there's a voice. Hello. Yes. Now I
Oh,
hear you. Welcome.
okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Can you see me?
I see an image of dark clouds, but I don't
Okay.
see a web camera. There's a button that turns your camera on and off.
No, actually, I put it off. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, certainly
Okay,
your
fine.
choice. Yep.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me, what is the topic today? What are we going to do?
Ah, well, we only have 15 minutes left to our hour, and our opening topic was chapter 4 of The Little Prince,
Okay.
and that is posted on loop always in advance what our topic will be. But Kareem, Connery, I'm not sure which name you want us to use, Kareem or Connery?
Well, Karim is better for me.
Kareem, okay. So Kareem and I have been talking about Chapter 4 and then more recently about what are the best ways to learn a language. So he and I have
Okay.
been debating the best ways to learn a language. And here comes Diana. Yay!
You know, I'm
Hi,
just
Diana.
okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Oh, cool.
But there's
Oh,
some
wonderful. It's been a long
some echoing.
background noise, right?
Echoing.
Sorry. Just a moment, I will try to change it.
Miss
How about
Holly.
now?
Yes, I think that's okay.
I cannot
Fidato?
hear you. I don't know why.
Yeah. I was saying that this class will be recorded.
It is recorded. Yes, it is videotaped and recorded and goes to our YouTube channel. So there are two kinds of Hangouts, but my Hangouts with Holly are recorded and do go to the YouTube channel. Yes.
Okay.
So if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm glad you asked to know. So your voice, your beautiful voice, is being recorded. Diana, are you hearing us now? Some trouble connecting here.
Okay.
Yes. How about the sound now?
Yes, I hear you, and I don't
Is
hear
it still
an echo.
echoing?
I think we're good. No, not for me, no echo. Can everyone else hear okay?
Yes, I can hear her clearly. I think it's so much
Nice.
good.
So I'm
Oh,
excited now. We have four of us.
Yeah.
There may be some delay in sound coming back to her. So we had been talking
It took me a while to find the link.
I always post the link. So you can always find it there if you don't find it on Google Plus. Plus, changing things, changing how to help people. But now there's a green bell in the upper right corner on Google Plus. There's a little bell, and supposedly if you click the bell, you'll see the link to join any Hangout that you've been invited to. But
Okay.
I've given up on giving clear instructions because every week Google Plus seems to change. So the bell won't be here, not in our Hangout space, but if you go to Plus Google, your main homepage, there should be a little bell in the top of your page, up near the menu bar on the top right. But it's apparently different in different browsers. It's apparently different whether you're on Mac or PC, and I keep waiting for a permanent setup so that we can give better instructions. But most recently, people say look for the bell. But I also always post the link in the text chat on Loop just
so
before we start. Yes, Karine?
um, what about your opinion if you ask Fidato about the best way to learn English?
He wants to hear answers. Diana and Fidato, what are the best ways, or what is the best way to learn a new language? We've been discussing advice. Is there a best way that
Well,
is the
for me, it's a
same?
combination. Combination of everything. No. There is no one way. It works differently for different people.
Oh, Kareem is not going to like that answer.
Diana, I told the first step, you should to listen for 1 year. You can follow the transcript. You should listen and relax, like children. When the children learn the first listen 4 years, and after that learn how to write and learn how to read. So my message to listen 1 year, but listen deeply, like listen one lesson twice every day for 2 weeks, and after that repeat. I mean repetition method. And after that you can read fast and you can write fast. This is my opinion. What about your opinion?
Found us. Hello.
How can you read if you
now
just
we have a
listen?
group. Ah, ah. All right, Kareem, how can you read if you're only listening?
I can read after lesson. I told you if I follow transcript, I can read. I can imagine the word, the pronounce of the word. Like I follow your transcript now. If I listen every day, what is the best way to learn a new language? What's the best way to learn a new language? So after I see this statement, I can pronounce it with correct way. Like what is the best way to learn language? Fluently. I can read fluently and speak fluently and write fluently because I see it, I listen it, and I can visualize it. This is my opinion.
And Amra, do you agree that the best way to learn a language is to listen, 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 repeat, 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 repeat?
And follow transcript. I said that. Follow
Yes, exactly. I
Oh, there
totally
we
agree
go.
with you, Miss.
Now we're 2 and 2. Ah, mm. No, you don't agree with me.
Yeah,
You agree with Kareem.
yes. You should listen. Yes, I totally agree with Karim because we aren't native speakers, so we should listen a lot to a lot of English language, like podcasts or audio files, and watch movies with subtitles or something like that.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, podcasts, yes, exactly. Well, yes.
Uh,
Thanks a
so,
lot, Kareem. Hello, how are you?
Thank you
uh,
for supporting me.
so I agree that this is helpful, but I will not agree that it is the best way for every learner. Uh, so we talked earlier about how your purpose for learning and your audience at any given time makes a difference. And listening, 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 and following transcripts is not the same as an interactive conversation. I learned this the hard way preparing for my visit to Korea. I was so ready to say, hello, my name is Holly. What's your name? How are you? But it doesn't work that way. I might say, hello, I'm Holly.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you. But then what they say back
yeah,
to me is totally not what they're supposed to say. That's not what the transcript was. So the
yeah,
fluency, the interaction is when you really test yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's very important in non-native English speakers need a script or something. It's a big problem here. Most people don't speak a lot, so they need to listen a lot, and after that they can speak like native speakers.
Or they listen a lot and think they're ready to speak like a native speaker or speak very fluently,
Yeah,
speak at a high level. Um, but it does take practice in the
yeah,
speaking as well, the interactive
yeah.
speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, practice makes perfect, as you
Oh,
know.
I don't know about perfect, but it certainly helps.
Yeah,
I think
it really helps. Yeah,
the lifelong aspect is still there,
yeah,
that there's always something else to learn. Uh,
yeah, exactly.
so, Amer, I still cannot pronounce your name well, but I
Yeah,
want to
it's me,
challenge
Amr. Yeah.
you, Amre, Amre.
It's my pleasure,
Um,
Miss Holly.
I want you to be answering more questions. So you're sharing a lot and encouraging people to join, but you're not
Yeah,
practicing your answers as much. So I want to know what you
yeah.
think. Do you care what other people look like? Is it important for you what clothes people wear? Do we
It
treat
depends.
people?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Actually, it depends on the situation or something like that. In real life, in everyday life, we can't look for what you are wearing or something like that. But I think it's very important to look as in person what he wears and how can he convince you and something like that if he is wearing a nice suit and a tie or something like this. Exactly when you are doing a presentation or something like that, you should wear a suit and a tight suit or untied to convince people to listen to you exactly. As you know, you should be ready. Yes, yeah,
Should be
ready for
pretty.
people
I
to
should be
convince
pretty. Oh,
them to
that's
listen to you.
impossible.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, so how to
Those
pay their
days are
attention to
gone.
listen to you. Yeah,
Uh, so I asked the question earlier with Kareem, if I were to come on web camera with purple
yeah,
hair and green cheeks,
yeah,
would that make
I
a
would
yeah.
love
It
it.
doesn't
difference?
work.
It
Yes,
doesn't
exactly.
work.
It makes it very different. It doesn't work
Diana
at
would
all.
love it.
Yeah,
Diana's ready.
yeah. Yes, Diana. How about you, Diana? Do you agree or disagree with us? It's really funny. Yeah.
Um, you
Should be
know,
funny.
yes,
Maybe
right.
you are in.
You know, I think that our look is very important.
Yeah.
I've
Go ahead.
watched an interesting documentary.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
not a documentary, it was the video um, about our look, actually. Um, okay, I think that my signal is, a bit behind you, but okay, anyway. Um, the video was about a guy, an actor actually, pretended that he had a heart attack. And the first time he pretended having a heart attack, and he was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and he was looking just an, normal guy. And the second time, it was the same guy wearing smart suit and pretending to have a heart attack. And you know what? When he was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, people just passed him without even looking at him. And he was lying there on the pavement, waiting for people to react, and nobody reacted. And when he was wearing a smart suit, just the very first moment when he fell down, the lady, the young girl, came up to him asking, "What's going on? What happened to you?" So You see, that was the experiment, and our look can save our life, actually.
Wow. So it's not supposed to, this is pretty much what we said earlier, that what we think that we are not so judgmental, but in reality, it can make a difference. Kareem, we've silenced you, and Fidato is back.
Yes, I was having connection problem.
Yes, is a challenge sometimes.
Yes.
And we're actually at the end of our hour already. I'm sorry that everyone didn't join us earlier, but I do have a very busy day, so I do need to wrap us up. So brilliant last comments. Anyone?
Brilliant last comments.
Oh, and now we have silence. I didn't mean to silence you.
Yes, I'm back here. Back you will, yeah. Okay.
Second, yeah.
Oh, I think, is that Kareem trying to talk? I hear a very quiet voice in the background.
I'm
There.
enjoyed to talk with you and others today, and I gain a lot of information from you. And I hope to talk.
Yes, I hope you'll join again too. Very happy to see you participating. Glad to see Diana again.
I learn a lot from you and
Good.
your loop site, so I wanted to tell you many thanks to her for
All
supporting me.
right.
Thanks.
Always glad to hear it, and happier when you are sharing online. We seem to have some lag between our voices, but I am going to say goodbye for today. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. See you soon.